Hello and welcome. Okay, so let's get right to it. I've had a few people asking me, how long is this separation going to last with my twin flame? It's been so long, I haven't heard anything from them. So some of what I'm going to share may at first burst your bubble. It may be something where you're like, "What?" There may be some grieving with that because it may not be what you expect to hear. And if it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too, because every journey is unique. It's different. I don't know what anybody's divine blueprint is. I'm not even sure with mine, as there's plot twists and turns, and I'm like, whoa. So I purposely timestamp these videos. At least I think I've timestamped the ones I've done so far on this reset channel. Please pay attention to that because I am for now leaving videos where I even feel like, I'm not sure that I concur with that anymore or any longer, or there was more information that came into my awareness that I wish I had shared in that previous video, but I don't want to delete it because it allows you and others to see how the journey unfolds and where I have been in certain parts of that journey. So the timestamp is really important, so pay attention to that. It's important to look at those older videos. They're not so old right now, but things are changing really fast and rapidly. And that's when when you have that spiral and you're unraveling more and more distortions and limited perceptions, that unraveling seems to happen faster. And so change can happen faster, which means things can change in an instance. We think in terms of it being worse, like we lose everything. Most of you, if you're on this channel, you've experienced quite a bit of loss in your life. But that also means that it can turn around and incredible, wonderful blessings. Okay? The bigger the destiny, the bigger I don't even want to say the reward. It's not a reward. I don't want to be put back in a cell or a reward. It just means you have transmitted that energy, you've put in the inner work, and you've put your time in, and it's going to come back multifold, multiplied abundance. That's what I mean by that. Okay, so let's get to it. How long is this separation going to last? First of all, I know you've heard it. You're never truly separated. The whole point of the twin flame journey is to remind us that we are always connected, like the trees of the root system, subterraneously, always connected. And there are certain people that are part of your soul family that you may have more of a attraction to, a connection to, even though you're connected to everybody on the planet and beyond. Twin flame. So what if you do not have one specific twin flame? What if it isn't the person you think it is? What isn't if it isn't just one person? Or what if it is? So I'm asking those questions so you can ask yourself those questions because I don't know for you, and I'm still finding that out with myself. So what I've come to be aware of lately is, and I may be wrong, is that this person whom I met about 4 or 5 years ago, there was such an intense connection, and he did acknowledge there was a connection, yet we've never had a relationship. He's married, he has since married, and I personally don't want to have a relationship with somebody who's married. I don't know him well enough anyways, yet there's still this very strong pull, and it's not like it was, yet there's such a strong attraction. I'm like, no, he's my twin flame. Maybe we're just not meant to come into physical connection in this lifetime, but he's my twin flame. And maybe he is. Yet the labels can really limit and restrict us and perpetuate the sense of longing and separation. When what if this one was one of many who were here to activate you further into your awakening? If you are on here, chances are you are already very awake beforehand, already very much on your spiritual path, or recognizing that you are spiritual, because we all are. or further awakening you, like in a big way, super accelerating your evolution, a super catalyst, I like to call them. And so whether it's a twin flame, a soulmate, whatever, they may not be the one that will be best for you to have that higher love, that unconditional love. Because number one, we have free will. Number two, that person may not be a harmonious match for you at this point. Is it possible that they come back around in more years to be in terms of separation, in a year, in 5 years, in 10, and there is a high level match and you both choose to come into physical union? Or it may not. It's being open to all the possibilities, and the surrender comes in being able to let go of expectations and outcomes of what it's supposed to look like. And if you're like me, you want to be loved. You want to be loved. You want that romantic love. You want that unconditional love, and you deserve it. It's your birthright. It is part of why you've chosen this journey. If you identify as a twin flame, and a twin flame, and even that label, it's like we're all on an ascension path, coming back into remembrance of where we come from, of that unconditional love, that source of love. And I don't mean AI source. There's an organic agenda, organic evolutionary, um, what do I want? A path back into remembrance of ascension. And then there's an artificial one that's trying to hijack the organic one. So we don't want to connect to AI source. No. And we want to make sure that we are staying sovereign, that we are sovereign beings. And so that's my big question for you is, what is it for you? And if you're longing for your twin flame or whom you think the one is, you're going to hear it again and again. Keep focusing on yourself, keep focusing on you, focus on your dreams, keep letting go of the detachment, any distortions, any limiting perceptions of what love is supposed to look like, who it's supposed to be with, when it's supposed to be. That's tough, because the further along you are on this journey, the more you're going to be invited to live with uncertainty. And that can be tough. The ego is like, they want to know now. Like, when's it going to happen? How's it going to happen? Is it going to be with this person? Just tell me when. I've been waiting. That's the ego. That is the ego that is not in check. Think of the child. What time? What time? When are we going? When are we going? What time? Are we going now? It's being able to surrender to what is going to be on your highest and best. If that's what you're choosing, which I assume most people on the twin flame journey have, I don't want to say, yeah, programmed into the divine blueprint that it would be their highest and best timeline. And that isn't necessarily going to be with this person whom you've have or still have this intense attraction and connection with. And if you're like me, we're in absolute no communication. So I'm like, I got all my cards on the table. I'm not here to pretend I'm in union, I'm in physical union. I am in a union. I feel that so strongly. Yet there's still distortion I'm clearing. There's still distortion I'm clearing. I'll be honest about that. Where was I going with this? So yes, some of you may have hoped that there would be an answer to this, and there appears to be more questions, and it's trusting your inner authority, your inner knowing. And let me speak to the vision. Some people are given the vision, and it appears to be with this person whom they have met, maybe one person, yet sometimes that vision is there so that the growth that you have programmed within your divine blueprint will unfold. And that growth can be painful at times, because if we attach to expectations and outcomes, it's like, we saw the vision. I saw the vision. I had a certain vision with my twin flame, not super strong. And so I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I was, it was really tough for me, and I needed to grieve what I expected to happen, how I expected it to unfold. And yet, let me share this also, and maybe this might resonate with you. the particular person whom I have been calling my twin flame, and maybe he still is, this one person, I feel he was more here to activate and clear away distortions of how to accept a relationship, like what love is, in settling it. I have had many memories with this one person, and I don't know why I did that. One of these memories was him as a king in Lemuria, and I was his mistress. I was his mistress. I wasn't the queen. The wife in this reality right now with him is his queen. Supposedly he loved me. I was his mistress, but it was a big secret. I was in hiding. I didn't allow myself to truly, truly shine and be seen because I didn't want to disrupt what he was here to do as king and all that. And he didn't want to leave his throne, so to speak. And no judgment back in that time, yet in this time, it was an opportunity not to loop back into that same pattern despite these really intense feelings that I had anyways for him. And I know he had a connection. I sense he had some strong feelings, as perhaps was like ambiguous, like what's going on here? There's like two women that I'm really feeling strong, have strong feelings for, yet I love my wife, or at that time his fiance. To me, it was I don't like the word test, but like a test, like, is this what you want? Do you want to loop back into the same pattern where you are still the mistress and he is still not fully committed? Neither one of us are fully committed. And in unconditional loving relationship, at least for me, I am looking for someone who is completely committed and devoted to me. And that doesn't mean like I can't share. It's just they're devoted to me. I am the queen and he is my king. And so it's an opportunity. What do I really want? Do I want to settle? Am I going to settle for somebody who would want to hide me anyways and keep me a secret? And I did get that trying to push this physical union and this prolonged separation with this person, twin flame or not, would actually loop me back into that same pattern where I would again be the sidekick. I wouldn't be the devoted queen, that spiritual queen, and that would be settling, and that's not what I'm looking for. So he helped to activate me on so many levels to super accelerate my path and to also recognize where I was looping back into patterns that were lower vibrational for me and perhaps for him too, like a temptation, and realizing, no, I'm committing to this person in this lifetime. I'm not going to no So perhaps that was an opportunity for him. Could it change somewhere down the line? I'm thinking no. I'm open to all these possibilities. I right now don't feel such a strong connection, maybe because what I want though is for him to just be happy, and he seems like he is. Like, so I know there's this love, like this soul love. I just want him to be happy, and he looks like he is. And that's when you know you've really come more into inner union, like you, yeah, especially if your twin flame or someone is with another person, they're married, whatever. Be careful with the information out there that says, oh, no, no, that you're their king, you're their queen. You need to claim them. You need to claim them. So what if they're married? So what if they're engaged? So what if they've got a girlfriend, a boyfriend, or they're with somebody else? Be careful with that. Be careful with that. Because what if you would be the third party? What if you would be the karmic? This is where labels can be tricky. The labels are really played with to manipulate. That's why I feel like it's sometimes intentional from the collective dark forces, not always intentional, maybe just a lack of awareness. Be really careful with what others may be saying on the journey. That would mean it's maybe harmful for somebody else involved. And if you find that your twin flame or you whatever, you really feel strong feelings for one another, you've expressed that you want to be together, and yet one of you is with somebody or both, then have that conversation with your current partner now. Like, what would you want if the shoe was on the other foot, if it were you? Would you want your partner, whom you love and adore, secretly and emotionally, or maybe even physically, sexually involved with somebody else? And emotional counts too. What do you prefer? What do you ultimately prefer and desire? So, those are some questions to ask. So, the separation, again, is an illusion, and maybe the separation is prolonged because this isn't the person for you. There isn't the harmonious match that you have, or it may be, and there's free will, or it's not time yet. Maybe there's more things to unravel within yourself and with the other. The big thing is let go of the attachment of who, when, and surrender to that uncertainty. And that can be a challenge, I know. And trust your inner authority. Keep focusing on yourself. Do what you love to do. If you've got something you really enjoy doing or with you're passionate about your profession, continue on that. Continue with that. And I am also, let me see, I am also going to share a video about an encounter I had with someone. Anyways, yes, I got another video I want to share. When I kind of alluded to AI, the artificial agenda, and the organic evolutionary unfoldment ascension. So to me, there are two polarities mirroring one another, and I'm not against AI. Let me make that very clear. So it's not like I can't choose AI at all. I'll get more into that. At any rate, please let me know if this was helpful, what your thoughts are. Please, please check in with yourself and keep doing the inner work. I mean, I do the breath work. I do, that's a huge piece of my day. Writing, automatic writing in the morning, making sure I'm grounded, spending time in nature, singing, chanting, and you can do the same. And it really helps you to be more grounded and to be able to trust that intuition and the automatic writing. Okay. Love you all. This is Sue Hayes of Sacred Soul Activation. Mwah. Until the next time, keep going. You got this.